Guys, we'll go ahead and get this meeting called to order. I was just informed that one of our former commissioners served several terms here. From all accounts that I know of, did an excellent job. Mr. Jimmy Mullins just passed away, so you remember him and his family in your prayers. It's going to be a rough couple days for them, so we would like to remember him. And if you don't mind, before prayer, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Commissioner Mullins, and then we would ask Mr. Teeber to lead us in a word of prayer. Thank you.
Holy Father, as we assemble ourselves together tonight, Lord, let us remember Jimmy Mullins and the family, Lord. May you give them peace and comfort and peace that surpasses all understanding in the loss of Jimmy, Lord. Father, I do pray tonight, Lord. I pray tonight for the service members in Iraq that were hurt and killed, Father, in that rocket attack. Father, I pray that you keep your hand on the war that's going on in Israel, Lord. Father, bless the Israeli people. Lord, I do pray tonight as we come about and do this business, Lord, that we all agree, and if we don't, let us just agree to disagree. And Father, I ask a blessing upon this commission, this county government, our state, and the United States of America. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now we'll have roll call, please. Here.
Yep.
Joyner. Randall Whitman.
Here.
Shane Haynes.
Here.
Eric Watkins.
Here.
Terry Mitchell.
Here.
Vince Gray.
Here.
Archie Carr.
Here.
Melissa Fields. Here. Bradley Jones.
Here.
Clint Mathis.
Here.
Mark Dorch.
Here.
Alexis Taylor.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Number 5, some of you know, most of you know that each county in the state of Tennessee is being assigned a Homeland Security officer. That person's job is still in the works, but one of the main jobs is to look after, the county as far as festivals and things like that, and to be an advocate for the school system safety portion along with the sheriff's office. That's what I know of the job. We are lucky as all get out because we got Donnie Deal. I've asked Donnie to come tonight just to introduce Donnie, and if he wants to say a little bit about, he probably won't say much. I will tell you that Donnie retired, of course, from Forest Service. He called me and I said, man, you got to go back to work. He said, I'm not going back to work. And then 3 weeks later, he called and said, I've got to find something to do. So we are lucky to have him as our Homeland Security officer. Would you like to say anything, Donnie?
I'm here for you if you need me.
Thank you. Number 6, the approval of minutes. You got them in your packets.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and second by Mr. Pryor. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 7 is the approval of the bi-monthly reports. Those were also in your packet.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second by Mr. Jones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 8 is the county officials' annual reports as filed with the county clerk. They were simply for your review. Did everyone get a copy of those? And is there any discussion on any of those? Okay, we'll move on. Number 9 is the property tax roll report from the Stewart County trustee. Does anyone have any questions about that report?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Dortch. Second by Mr. Joyner. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 10 is the approval of notaries. The renewals, Marlon Blaine, Gina Brake, Derek Renfro. We have one new one, William Green. We can separate those, or y'all can vote on them as a whole.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Ms. Fields. Second by Mr. Joyner. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Number 11 is the approval of budget amendments and transfers for 24-25. Mr. Tosh.
Fund, the budget amendments are, Fund 101, items 1 and 2 are approved, item number 3 failed, item number 4 we approved with the auditor's approval, and highway and school were approved. Motion to approve all of those, with the exceptions that I gave.
Motion by Commissioner George.
Second.
Second by Mr. Watkins. Is there any discussion on these budget amendments? Take a roll call vote, please.
Hang on, before we vote. This is, the third one is only a one-time only.
You think?
The third one.
I mean, fourth, number 4.
Number 4.
It is a non-renewal, that's correct.
Okay, so just one time only.
Well, it's one time,
And it's probably before
once
the
it's
commission
approved,
again.
then it's correct.
Okay.
The sheriff's office, they took care of that before this morning, so it came out.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Shane Hicks,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Pitcher,
Yes.
Vince Gray,
Yes.
Archie Cryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields,
Yes.
Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clay Mathis,
Yes.
Mark George,
Yes.
Alexis Taylor,
Yes.
Elijah Thomas,
Yes.
Brian T-Bird,
Yes.
Rick Joyner, Randall Redmond.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Number 12 is to approve the agreement for professional services between A2H and Stewart County. This is the engineering firm that was selected for the multimodal grant, which is the sidewalk grant. It's been lingering for about 3 years now. We're starting to see some sunlight on getting this project rolling. We did have some issues with it, but we have worked through that. The project is extremely underfunded. Part of this contract, if you guys read it, Heather and myself added in language that if the state does not come back and fully fund this, then we are not responsible, we're not liable, and we're not held in the contract form, correct? So that was just the caveat I wanted in there, because if the state for some reason says, no, we don't have another $400,000 or $500,000, then that project to me is not worth putting above other projects that the county needs right now. So just giving you a heads up on that, and I would seek a motion to approve that. By Commissioner Joyner.
Second.
Second by Ms. Fields. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 13 is a resolution to approve federal project budgets as received from the Tennessee Department of Education. Anyone have any questions or discussion on that? We can get the proper folks up here. Motion by Mr. George.
Second.
Second by Mr. Jones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 14 is the His Call Cloud Phone Service Agreement between His Call and the Stewart County Highway Department. These are the same company that came in and provide the service for the health department. The health department's satisfied. Mr. Sumner had them in his office. They brought the phones over for him to use for a while to see if he was gonna like it. It looks like they're gonna be able to save a little bit of money there and have an upgraded service. I can tell you the sheriff's office, Miss Lucy and the sheriff are working with them to possibly see about talking to them about phone services because of the money savings. Of course, if that goes over the state threshold, that'll have to be bid out, but right now, I think they're pretty positive they're gonna be able to save quite a bit of money and have a much better service. Just keep it.
Is that the same phone deal that you went with here a while back? Wasn't you?
It was the health department, we have, access control for His Call, we don't have their phones yet.
The health department does have them.
But
They've
that-
had them for approximately.
It
a
was
year.
the same deal.
I seek a motion to approve.
So moved.
By Mr. Mathis,
Second.
second by Mr. Jones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 15 is a hot mix vendor changes for Stewart County Highway Department, using both bidders, Vulcan Materials and McAsphalt. And I can tell you nothing about that other than he's just wanting to change, and he's here if y'all would like to speak with Mr. Sumner.
I'm going to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Dortch. Second by Mr. Fitzhugh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 16 is the master agreement, resolution to purchase vacuum leaf truck through Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op. That's for the Stewart County Highway Department. You've approved that in this year's budget. And Sourcewell is just a co-op that we are able to use that goes out and hunts the best price.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Watkins,
Second.
second by Mr. Cryer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 17 on your agenda is the personnel policy and employee handbook for the highway department. It was in your packets. If you have any questions, we can discuss that.
I do have questions. Mr. Attorney, have you read through their handbook?
I have not read, no, I haven't been asked to read this.
There's just one section in there that, I don't think is too kosher, but is this in line with the rest of the county? You know what I'm saying? Does the county have a code of conduct?
Yes, we have a personnel policy.
Okay, is this in line with your personnel
I don't know if there haven't been changes since I was the mayor, so I don't, is there any changes or is this?
I'm not familiar.
Ronnie, have you made any changes to this since you've been in office?
The only thing on this that's changed is we went to 14s.
Was what?
We went to 14s.
Went to a 4-10-hour day?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, there is one thing I got a question on, I'm gonna have to dig it up right here right quick.
What page is that on, Mr. Teeter?
That's what I'm looking
Oh,
for.
okay.
Code of conduct's on 146, if that's what you're asking.
One starts at 142. This phone book's a little bit bigger than the one I got.
What's new?
I would like for you to look through this section there, Mr. Attorney,
What section is that?
right off the get-go there, employment at will. I've worked for at-will places before.
Ronnie, I hadn't really looked that over. You're going 4-10, and a man takes a day's vacation, he gotta take 8 hours or 10 hours.
10 hours.
We had that situation down at Cumberland Electric, and, if we took the day off, or, we had to take 10 hours. And
On page 143.
What's your question on it?
Well, it just don't seem like there's any kind of, how do I put it? Anything for the employee here. Employees may be terminated for failure to satisfactorily perform their duties, which I'm good with that, or simply at the will of the employer. Well, you know, maybe I'm having a bad day and I come in and I don't like the way Boo's looking at me. You're out of here. Pack your stuff and go.
It can happen.
I think
That is not too kosher. Do you understand what I'm saying?
that represents CTAS. You're more or less putting the employee on notice that they are an at-will employee. I don't think you're saying that they've got to do like that.
I'm just going by what it says.
There's still discriminatory manners, there's still, things you gotta do to fire somebody. You can't just come in and say, I don't like the way you look, so I'm gonna argue, so.
Well,
I mean, I think
you know.
that, I don't know the exact language, CTAS does put out some templates, but that does read similar to what CTAS puts out, so. Again, I haven't looked at it, it's not Ronnie's fault, I just wasn't asked to look at it, so I haven't seen it, but if it's nothing's changed, that's pretty close to what CTAS puts out as a template policy anyway.
That's,
So let
that's
that-
what's been in ours since 1982 when it was first started. And that right there, what you're reading is just like Houston County Highway Department.
That's in our county also. To answer your question that I wasn't able to look, Miss Natalie looked it up.
It's in mine, and mine says.
Same
the
language?
The county's.
Same language, yes, sir.
Pack your stuff.
Well, Ronnie,
I'm not gonna make you happy how I look.
Ronnie, if these 4 10s don't work out good for you,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
swap it back?
I could, but it works out really good for our running on the plants.
Thank you, Ron.
Well, motion to approve.
Motion to approve, second by Mr. Redmond. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Number 18 is the adoption of certified tax rate calculation for 2024 from the property assessor's office.
You gonna speak on that for a minute?
Well, has everybody seen that rate? It was in your packet and all.
Right.
1.4862. That will be the new rate once adopted. Motion by Mr. Joyner. Second by Mr. Mathis. Let's get a roll call vote on that, please.
This is what the state says we're gonna do. That's where
Shane
we're.
Hayes. Yes. Eric Watkins.
Yes.
Terry Mitchell.
Yes.
Vince Gray.
Yes.
Archie Pryor.
Yes.
Melissa Fields.
Yes.
Bradley Jones.
Yes.
Clay Mathis.
Yes.
Mark George. Alexis Taylor.
Yes.
Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
Ryan Teeber.
Yes.
Rick Joyner. Randall Redmond.
Yes.
Number 19 is the resolution fixing the tax levy that you just approved in Stewart County, Tennessee for the year beginning July 1, 24.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Teeper, second by Mr. Cryer, and that's the resolution. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 20 is a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners, Stewart County, authorizing the county mayor to execute and sign for contract agreements pertaining to the local parks and recreations fund. As you all know, July 1st, we finally got the notice to proceed on the parks and recreations. So we've been talking about this for a year and a half now, and we finally get to go to work. So, and all this is just some of the contracts that have to be signed and sent back. We're just asking for you to.
Motion approved.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. 21 is a contract by and between Rutherford County, Tennessee, by and through its Rutherford County Juvenile Detention Center. Did you guys get time to look at that? And did you have any questions? Motion by Mr. Joyner. Second by Ms. Fields. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 22 is a resolution making appropriations to the nonprofit charitable organizations in Stewart County, Tennessee for the year beginning July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th of 25. This is the $20,000 that we had already approved. What we did, instead of going through our office with every one of those for these vendors and things like that for the fair, we asked and sought out the Chamber of Commerce to do that for us, and they have willingly did so, and now we just have to make the appropriate movement of that money in a resolution form for the nonprofit.
So moved.
By Ms. Fields, second by Mr. Jones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. 23 is approval of surplus property. If y'all have any questions, you want to vote on it separate, we can pull anything out. Motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Redmond. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll ask you guys first if you got any new business, anything that you have any questions about anything that's going on in the county, or wanna know anything that I might, or Heather might know, or Margie might know, because Margie knows a lot.
I do, I've talked with several of, some folks in corrections and jail and things like that, and there are concerns about the cameras in the jail. I know that, people have been working on it, but, it's been since 2020, which you weren't here in 2020, so it's nothing I knew, but, I think we really need to get something going with the cameras. I know that there's several that are not working at all, and I feel like it is just a lawsuit waiting to happen. There's some that aren't working, and if something happens, it becomes a he said, she said. And, we all know how that works in the court system. We don't want our sheriff's department, we don't want our county that's gonna be liable for anything that's going on in the jail that could have easily been taken care of with the right equipment in the jail. And I know that, again, I know that you've been working on it, but I think that we need to, talk about it and see, where we can go from there.
So I have definitely been working on it, the sheriff's been working on it, the sheriff entered into an agreement, in contract form with the company that they currently have right now. Just outside looking in, that company is, we do have broke cameras there, and I hate this, we do have broke cameras, but we also have a maintenance plan with them. And every time the sheriff or Mr. Mills calls them, they want to talk to us on the phone and charge us more money. And that system is clearly broke, and we have to address that. The first addressing, I went over with Clint, and we looked at it. They walked us through, showed us the jail, looked at everything. We thought we would call a couple folks just to get estimates on what we thought it would be when we put out. We had a 175, a 252, and I don't remember the third. So this is not just a camera issue. This is a $250,000 county issue. So when I heard camera issue, I thought $25,000, $30,000 ought to put you in a good camera system. That's not the case in that jail at all. That camera system, it has so many working components to it. And we have things like that camera locks and has the ability to unlock doors, lock doors, things like that. It's much larger than a camera issue. Now what we hope to be bringing before you guys, and we will end up bidding this out and following the correct procedures, is a maintenance plan that somebody can actually follow through with, like a company that could come in and put cameras in. We don't pay $300,000 up front. We pay a certain amount a month, and that's going to be a high number. It's not going to be cheap. I'm saying anywhere between $3,000 and $4,000 a month is what it's going to take. But that beats us putting $250,000 worth of cameras in there. By the time we get it paid off, those things are junk. That's what they're running into right now.
Yeah, that is the problem right now, is they're obsolete.
So with a maintenance plan, a proper maintenance plan, if one goes down, we're getting the next best thing put in. When the next one goes down or needs fixed, or they don't just come out and put the same one in from 5 years, they put a new one in because they don't want to come out more. That's what the maintenance plan does, and that's what I've been working. I think Mr. Mills has been trying to work with the contract that he's under right now and get out of that contract. That's what we're hoping. That's around $700, a little south of $700 a month. I know him and the sheriff, I know for a fact they've got it down around that $300, $350. We would like to get out of it altogether. But also, we're not going to be a county that goes out there and breaks contracts either, so unless we have to. So that's where the camera system's at. I will tell you, we got a complaint about the air conditioner. I had a mama from one of the inmates call and said, the part was coming in. We had it, it's finally fixed. We also just put in 2 units there, 2 split units that were recommended to properly cool that. That was to the tune of $10,000. We have a water heater to the tune of $12,000 that's got to be replaced. This jail's eating our lunch. That's what's going on. I know that's a tough way to put it, but that's a fact. That's what's going on over there right now. But we're working. We do have the camera thing, and when we got it solid and can get out of this contract, and we can get good numbers to go with, I'll present that to you, and then we'll have to put it out for bid and see where it ends. But that is how they're working. It's not safe right now. It's not safe. I don't think there's any safety concerns there as far as the jailers and things like that goes. Those guys they 100% professional over there. But there are people who might not act right if they thought. And I originally I said, I don't want them knowing the camera, you know, but we have cameras working over there and they don't know which ones it is, so I fully expect them to act halfway decent until we get the news.
Well, I mean, it really is, it's a safety concern. I mean, if something happens in the corner somewhere and it's not on camera, you know, whether they know it's on camera or not, they're still gonna bring it to the county. They're still, you know, $150,000, $300,000 is a whole lot, but so is $1 million lawsuit or $2 million lawsuit or anything like that. So I just don't, you know,
How about Mr. Mills?
I was about to say, Mr. Mills, do you think there's a safety concern? Do you think there's a safety concern that we should be worried about? I mean, I know they need to be fixed just because of liability, but at the moment, is there
Safety wise, I would say to a certain extent, because right now, like he was talking about with our air conditioning units, right now I can't keep officers in my tower because it's 91 degrees, and I'm not making somebody work at 91 degrees. So the only way they keep observation on the inmates is through cameras. Again, I don't want to get into specifics out here in the public with certain things, but we don't get to see as much as we used to. I can go into a little bit more detail with you, but we're operating at somewhere around 65%. So do I believe in the capability of my officers and things of that nature? Absolutely. My biggest worry is the liability. We've had a couple of issues in the couple of years that the sheriff appointed me as jail administrator that could have really been bad for us, but my guys do a good job. They log, they do a good job, and it's on camera that they do a good job. When you have that trifecta, you know, it makes it pretty easy for any other agency that comes in here to see if anything went wrong, what happened. And we've been lucky that we've been clear in everything that's gone on. Like I told them, unfortunately, when this place was built, they invested in VCRs when DVDs would become the thing. Is essentially what happened. Put it in layman's terms. We got some people out there that can do some good conversion technology. Me and Mr. P have been looking into it, and we tested one of the cameras from somewhere, and it was a lot better than what we currently have. And then again, just having the functionality of all 68 of our cameras would go a long way. Because when they built that place, they didn't add any extra, I can tell you that. Every single one of them is meant to look at a specific spot, and we desperately need them.
And I will say another part of that was the telephones, like I was speaking about a while ago. The one company has come back and said, I think I can save you $20,000. Up to, you know, so if that happens, that'll be a lot, I mean, it will come into a little better situation as far as us as a county.
Do they do camera systems and things like that, or do they just do telephone? It's his call, right, is that what you're talking about?
That's who did the cameras at the courthouse.
Yeah.
His call did the cameras at the
Yeah,
courthouse.
so they could, I mean, could they do something?
A company like theirs could do, yes, they would have the capability.
Because they have saved us a lot of money, they've saved the county a lot of money.
Yeah, I was going to say something too about these cameras. Sam, I don't want to say, oh, I don't mind saying. We had 2 deaths since I've been in, even in jail administrator. We didn't get sued over none of those. And the reason we didn't is because we had everything recorded and everything documented. But I'm not going to guarantee something else happens, we're going to have that recorded. An inmate gets hurt, or a correction officer gets hurt, I sent the mayor, and then it's listed as it. You know, if one gets hurt over there, you know, I can't guarantee that there's not going to be a lawsuit because we're not going to be able to record some of it. And that's what I'm saying. And the camera system, it's nobody's fault, but the camera system, and I equate this, it's like we bought an 8-track player, okay, and I wasn't here when it put in, when they were making up cassettes and discs the next day. That's what we got in the camera system, and that's where we're at. And he's like he said, about 60% on the cameras. So there's a lot of things that's not being recorded, and that's where we're at.
I think one of the things also I haven't heard back, you know, I know y'all been out of pocket a little bit, but how's the contract? Where is that sitting?
I emailed Chris up there at Securitas today because he hasn't got it back to me. The last time I talked to him, he said we drop it down to $350 and he'd give me a new contract sent my way, and I haven't seen anything, so I went ahead and tried following up with him and seeing if I can get that signed off on. If not, I firmly believe, I don't know if Charles has had enough time to look into it, I feel like they have violated the contract by that one time when our doors stopped working. They're supposed to be there within 24 hours, and they said it was going to be a week, so I ended up having to take a fuse out of the AC outlet and fix our doors. With that, we might be able to do a stop payment or something along those lines. I don't want to ruin that relationship because again, even if we went with somebody else for cameras, we would still need them for our door systems, our locking systems and stuff like that because they do the intercoms. And like the mayor was saying with the cameras, the $256,000 proposal one, that was for doing brand new lines, brand new everything from the ground up with state of the art. What we're looking at right now is at least something that still uses the same infrastructure that we have, that'll convert it over into something newer that we won't have to replace in 5 years. We're going over what is, we're going from analog to a digital IP standard is what we want to do, and the cheapest way we can think to do that is just doing the conversion. We try to run the miles of Ethernet cable that we need in that building. That, again, that's just an infrastructure upgrade. That's from where, again, we went from cable TV to now you have, Wi-Fi TV, and that's essentially what we're gonna have to try to do for an entire jail. And I know that's a large task to ask for.
If I'm not mistaken, Mayor, that contract that we've got with them, we will get in 350 fires in 2025. Runs out in 2025. So
correct. So if we don't get out of it completely, we don't have to redo it.
If we had to keep monitoring, we'll only be in 2025.
Yeah, you're right. We will have to give them notice.
Mr. Mayor, does this tech guy that we hired, where does he come into this
He's
equation?
knee deep in it, I promise you. He is knee deep. He saved us his salary this year already.
It needs to be.
He is. Actually, when he called me one day and wanted to go over to Dixon to view the his call facility, and he went over there and they taught him a lot. Well, when he came back, he got with their tech and Mr. Mills, and that's where they came up with this integration of using some of our lines on new equipment. And yeah, he's. I promise you, I'm not in that side of it. I'm not being on the money side of it, but the other side.
I'm just making sure we're getting our money's worth
We're
here.
getting our money. We getting our money's worth, that Andrew. Just to touch up, well, let's. Anybody else have any more concerns or questions or anything?
I don't have a concern, but I've got a couple of questions for the sheriff. Sheriff, you got a second over this flock system? Are these cameras going to be? I wasn't with the budget and finance committee, so I don't know if you was asked anything, but
Just came from Mr. Scott. You got one?
I got one. Are they going to be like stationary setup, or are you going to put one on like a radar trailer that you could do mobile?
We're going to try to do one on mobile and the other 3 stationary.
Okay.
The reason we're doing that on the mobile because we want to put one at the schools or some of these, when they have the big football games, basketball things like, and see what it produces.
Gotcha. If just say you got like somebody on like a hot list, and the LPR does read its tag, is that going to go to dispatch or do you know?
It's going to be anybody that we give access to.
Okay, so are you going to
all of our people, whether it be with their cell books or with their phones, will get an alert.
Gotcha. Okay, that was my next question. Are you going to like eventually try to convert to in-car CAD, or are you just going to like do it through their phone?
I ain't got plans to convert anything yet.
That was my question. I mean, I know that. I know it's used nationwide, and you have access to nationwide things. I know most of the time, whenever you get a hot list alert, or if you're on a traffic stop, typically you can run that tag in that system, see where it's most traveled, most frequently. Like I know how the system works. I was just curious how the deputies were going to utilize that if they were out and about.
Yeah, they can absolutely have it sent to their phone. With our ISOMs, you can set it up where it'll automatically notify them through that. That's our sheriff's office management. Our patrol uses that. That's jail uses that. And so that's also an option. But most of the guys, they would be better off with their cell phone just because.
Right. Yeah. No, I got it.
Wi-Fi coverage around the county is not usually the greatest.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That was my only question. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions or concerns, guys? Mr. Rand?
I was gonna ask the Sheriff, would he have anything you'd like to say, and y'all took care of that. Unless you got something else you want to say.
I got a little bit to go. So I just want to give you a heads up on the cameras at the jail. Mr. Ethan Gray, Miss April Turner worked hard on a grant there. Cameras at the jail, I'm sorry, the courthouse. I got them But, they did a good job with that, and those camera systems that they have just installed in over at the courthouse is great. I went over there and checked it out and everything, it's good. With the broadband grant, we're gonna be able to put internet in the courthouse, and that will make those cameras 10 times better, just the accessibility. So that's one thing I want to touch on about. I'm not a Facebooker, but I made a post. I went in with the Athletic Association and applied for a walking trail grant. I thought I would come back to you guys and tell you how much we had to match. They fully funded the entire thing. We should be able to install that walking trail grant later on in the year when we start work down there with our LPRF grant. So I think I said on there, we're gonna be putting about $1.6 million in that ball field in our community park in about a year's time. So that's all because of, you guys allowing me, number one, to go after those grants, and then number two, working with the ballpark, because there was a lot of uncertainties, but we knew they couldn't get many grants, so we took them in and did that, and so it's definitely gonna pay off really fast. Let's see what else. One of the last things that I've got, I don't know if we're gonna call him back this time or not, but this will be Mr. Randall Redmond's last commission meeting. I have definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much I went out to his house and sat in the swing with him for a while. That was fun. We had a good conversation out there.
Me and Eric, we out there throw rocks at each other.
But I will say that I have enjoyed your leadership. For me, I'm not a young guy, but compared to you, I'm young.
Oh, wow. Give him a compliment.
I told Booth, I said, I'm gonna tell you what, you started out a whole lot easier than what I started out with. Woo!
So anyways, we're honoring Mr. Redmond. This is a proclamation just to express our appreciation from us to him. Whereas County Commissioner Randall Redmond was elected to Stewart County Board of Commissioners representing District 2 in August of 1994 and served through August the 31st, 2022. He was further appointed to fill a vacant commissioner position of Commissioner Drew Shepard on December the 5th, 2022 until August the 31st, 2024, making a total of 30 years in Stewart County governmental services as a county commissioner. Whereas Commissioner Redmond served his district and Stewart County faithfully and diligently and contributed immeasurably to the total deliberations of the Board of County Commissioners. Whereas Commissioner Redmond's departure from the county legislative body will be a loss to the citizens of Stewart County. And whereas it is appropriate that suitable recognition be made of this citizen who gave so much of himself in service to our community. Now therefore be it resolved by the Stewart County Board of Commissioners assembled in regular session on the 5th day of August 2024 that by this proclamation we express our appreciation for Commissioner Redmond's performance, that his achievements to date are noted and commended, and that best wishes are extended for the future.
I want to thank Shane, Ricky Joyner, and Big Boy. Anyway, for getting me home one evening. Anyway, every time somebody run, I would ask them, I said, "Why are you running?" And it's very important because when I got on this commission, the schools needed the buildings and they needed upgrading, and the commissioners weren't doing nothing, and they're not perfect, but that was why I started. And then the employee pay and the benefits, they're not wonderful, but they was better than they were, and I just, you got to have a reason. And whenever just Booth got on this thing, I asked him, "Why are you running?" And he's really interested in trying to help. He works at the ballpark down there, and he's a good guy. And
He can drive a truck. He good at that too, but anyway, he told me, he said, I'm not gonna run if you're gonna run. I said, well, I'm not gonna run. You go right ahead. He said, will you sign my petition? I said, well, I'll sure be glad to. It'd be an honor. It's been an honor doing this. It ain't been easy a lot of time. And I've had quite a few times people, I call it getting blindsided. I'd be at Papa Rock or somewhere and somebody come up behind me there and jack me up about wheel tax or whatever it was. And I said, I'll tell you what, bud, I'll resign and you can take it. Oh, no, I don't want it. You know? And I said, well, you didn't shut up then, so I don't tell you. But I didn't mind dealing with that. Probably one of the hardest things we dealt with was the Ten Commandments in the courthouse. That was probably the biggest crowd we've had since the high school ball field over there. Anyway, I'm glad that we got the Little League field over there, and it's just so much better than it was. And you know, people don't understand these schools, like the high school. But you got to have them in a certain place that the kids can't be on a bus so many minutes a day. So you know, people don't think about that. And it wasn't perfect, but that's the best we did. And it's just been an honor to do this. And I got awful lot of good friends here. And Mike, you look like your daddy, but anyway. You do. I hope you don't act like it, but you look like it. No, Mr. Stewart, good guy. He really was. Well, as long as you knew how to duck. Thank y'all very much. I'm in my mouth.
All in favor, say aye. Got a beer board meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye.